What's up, team? It's Ghost Stories Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be answering the question, what does it take to rank up in Rivals, and more specifically in this one, from silver to gold in competitive mode. This is going to be video number 2 in this series. We've already done from bronze to silver. I want to share my experience and any practical advice to the macro or micro concepts for ranking up from gameplay, personal habits, general strategy, coming from the perspective of a non-professional gamer, streamer, top-rated comp player, something the average or potentially above average gamer can sink their teeth into, the basics. I'm currently in gold 3, which is where I stopped in season 0. I only played up to gold to get the free Moon Knight skin, so this gold to plat run I'm about to start is going to be a good time to learn and grind and share my experience with you guys, and hopefully share some practical advice that might help you rank up as I experience it as well. That video is going to be pending until I hit plat, so keep an eye out for that. Finally, a quick note: if you guys enjoy the content, want to see any future updates and videos from this channel, be sure to click subscribe, leave a comment, share. Everything helps a lot, and this tells me if videos are useful for you, interesting for you guys, and also helps push it out to more eyeballs. I also do want to say thank you, a massive thank you, for the last video in this series. It helped push the channel to over 700 subs. Super pumped to see what this one can do as well. Let's jump in. In the bronze to silver lobbies, we covered a few macro concepts that can carry over in the silver to gold lobbies, so I'm going to run through those. One being communication, using a microphone, over communicating your intentions. Theoretically, players' technical skills also going to increase at each rank division, using things like covers, seeking out health nodes, keeping track of enemy ult usage, and peeling for your supports, all going to increase in importance as each individual's player skill level improves. Things like having map knowledge, including where those health nodes are, what's destructible, escape routes at every choke point, partying up with 1 to 4 teammates versus a 6 stack, having a basic understanding of every hero's abilities, strengths, weaknesses, potential counters, and finally taking a break when you need it. Tilt queuing does nothing for nobody. Play some quick play, play some arcade, take a break, drink water, touch some grass, whatever you got to do to get your mind right. In silver to gold lobbies, you're going to need to start adding a lot more to your game. Counter hero picking is a concept I think maybe potentially a little more advanced in silver lobbies, so I'll be adding that to the gold plus, but I'm not quite convinced is as important at the silver level. The first point I want to make here is being comfortable enough to play 1, potentially 2 characters in each role. I've started to see videos or suggestions of being a 1 trick to get you into that gold, potentially plat level lobbies. Now, it probably works, okay? If you can secure that character every time and you're truly a demon and you're trying to get there as fast as you can, and you can really carry every game, that probably means from a technical gaming standpoint, you're at least gold or above already. Now, I'm guessing this strategy is more focused for tanks or DPS. I had a commenter saying you could be a top 500 support and bronze players will still find a way to die. I kind of believe that, so with that strategy, I'm guessing you're going to focus more on a tank or a DPS, something that can send enemies back to the graveyard. Now I'm going to let you guys be the judge on that one. I'm sure it's worked. I'm sure somebody's typing right now. It's worked for them. That's great. In my opinion, however, this could be a bad habit developing. If your goal is to rank up as fast as possible and you master 1 to 2 heroes, you probably get away with it in the silver, potentially gold lobbies, but there is a ceiling on that strategy. In my opinion, if you want some competitive longevity, better to be a demon with multiple characters and multiple roles. Now, I understand, keep in mind, this is going to take a lot of time and reps, but eventually you're going to run into a team that needs you to do something else, and you need to be ready, or at least ready to compromise. If you want to be a 1 trick, I'd recommend at least being a 1 trick in every role, and you could probably be pretty successful at these ranks. Next up, I'd like to add positioning as an important concept in these ranks, and I think positioning is a good habit to start developing here. If your team has better positioning the majority of the game, you're gonna win a lot, I promise. If you're not familiar with positioning, it's a broad concept. Personally, I've learned most about it through playing MOBAs, so games like Dota, Heroes of the Storm, Deadlock even. If you're out of position for as little as 1 to 2, 1 to 3 seconds in those games with skilled enemies, you're going to get smoked. You will pay for it immediately. And I think that applies to Rivals as well. I think positioning applies to this game because it's an objective team-based game. People really need to accept that. You can't rack up 50 kills and ask, why did we lose? It's not about the kill count, not about the numbers. My biggest wish actually for Rivals is to add an objective timer. I'd be super curious to see what those post-game stats would look like. Back to the point, there are much better videos about positioning concepts. I implore you to go discover, go do your own research. I don't have the expertise in Rivals to really break this down yet. My goal is to produce a positioning video or positioning strategy video, but I need to be much higher ranks and I need to have a lot more in-depth breakdowns with examples. I'm just not there yet. However, generally speaking, I can give you some super simple examples of positioning concepts just to help you grasp the idea. First one up, super simple. For a game like Rivals, tanks in front, DPS are kind of floating, they're peeling, they're flanking, they're floating around to the needs of the situation, and supports generally hang out in the back. Now, if you're a support and you're in front of one of your tanks in the front line and you're not dropping an ult or doing anything fight changing, my question is why? Why are you up there? Why are you in front of your tanks? Why are you in front of your tanks in a non-emergency? Another one, high ground versus low ground. Better to shoot from high to low versus low to high. If you find yourself in a fight shooting up, you're likely in a bad spot. You're likely in a bad position. Line of sight. If you're a tank and you can't see your supports, or vice versa, you're likely in a bad position, or you're not positioned in the best possible spots. Now, if you're a support and you can only see one ally on your screen, you're in a bad spot. Overextending, something very common in these ranks. Where are you going? If you die alone and nobody is with you and you're not attempting to flank, pick, or dive and you haven't communicated your plan, where are you going? But if you go off, say nothing, die by yourself, and say, hey, where are the heals? Bad positioning. Bad positioning and communication. Off angles versus lanes. You rarely want every player on a team firing in the same firing lane, all facing the same direction, just slamming your head against a Doctor Strange shield, an unkillable Groot and walls, doing nothing. Better to go find an off angle. Now, Rivals has several levels. It's not a boots on the ground game. You can fly, you can climb on walls, the Hulk can throw you like a baseball. You can be several stories above the, quote unquote ground floor. The maps are living and you should be flowing with the game and constantly repositioning depending on what's happening. This game sense and map knowledge all comes with reps and time. So don't be too hard on yourself in the beginning, just play more. Last one here I have for the macro concepts. Consider your own actions before blaming others. Now, I know we probably all learned this in kindergarten, but clearly it doesn't stick for competitive online gaming. People are mean, people are bullies. So the first step is to look at your own actions. When you lose, when you die, take a look at your actions first before dropping blame. Think about the match. We have all run in and died on point with no plan and full regret. It happens. We just want to minimize this as much as we can. So ask yourself, did you fulfill your role? Did you have good positioning the majority of the time? We're in silver, we're not perfect yet. Good positioning the majority of the time. Were you able to flex heroes when needed? Not required, but if actually needed, were you open to that? Could you do it? Can you play 1 to 3 heroes well? Not okay, but well. You really need to start understanding their kits, their ult usage, and combos at this level. You need to start honing your expertise with a handful of heroes. Not 5, but 2, 3, 1 from each role. This is very important. If you can say yes to this and be honest with yourself, then start checking out the teammates if you need to confirm and start avoiding his teammate or spectate for content, whatever. Point being, start with yourself. Am I the problem? As Coach Shoddy said, by the way, I'm addicted to this guy, Shoddy. Go to his YouTube page, watch his content, check him out. Lots of good info in there. He likes to talk and yap just like me. Really connects with me. But he also says it's you versus the other team. So whatever your team does is just a bonus. Ensure you're doing your job and doing it well. Lower your expectations of the teammates, as painful as that is, and everything they do that's positive, just take that as a win. And in the interest of not talking too long so we can wrap this up, this silver to gold run is a good time to start practicing and thinking of these concepts. And if you're not familiar with like macro versus micro, in this context, micro is going to be something more of a game-specific strategy or tech specifically for Marvel Rivals. First up, let's talk about staggering and stacking support ults. There's nothing worse than your Loki copying your Luna Snow and you both hitting your dance-offs at the exact same time. If you refuse to communicate with others as a support player, I beg of you, please just do this. You don't even have to talk to the whole team. Just whisper the other support guy. Coordinate your ults with your other supports. This is a must as you advance through the ranks. For example, if you're Luna Snow, just say, hey guys, I'm going to sit on my ult to counter the enemy's ults. Or, hey, friendly Cloak and Dagger, I'm always going to use my ult after yours. Just call for it. Support arts are arguably the best in the game. If you double up and don't get the picks, your team is going to be fresh meat.
Fresh meat.
This is a great rank to start practicing this. Number 2, practice your new heroes in quick play, but don't rely on quick play to make you better. What I mean by this is use quick play to practice specific techniques, get familiar with new heroes, practice your aim or new tech. Don't expect training here will get you to Diamond or Grandmaster like you want. You're going to have to queue in competitive to make this work. You're going to have to queue against players or parties of similar skill level to really see if you can overcome those players with your newly acquired knowledge. And to be honest, this is going to be painful. You're going to get accused of throwing. It is what it is. Try your best, be upfront about your skill if you're worried about it, and that at least gives your team a chance to play around you. Say, hey guys, I'm not the best tank. I'm trying to get better with Magneto. I'm not trying to throw. I'm going to do my best here. Let me know what I can do to help support you guys. Just a little note like that helps the team. Third, I don't really see a whole lot of people talk about this, but use the destructible environments. We discussed in the last video, there's a button that allows you to view destructible elements during a match. Find that button, use it. The easiest one to keep track of, in my opinion, on the destructible side are the bridges. If you don't like that Moon Knight perched up on that bridge causing a ruckus, destroy the bridge. If you don't like that Punisher turret behind the cover, destroy the cover. Is your team getting melted out of spawn? You know, shoot down that breakable wall and give yourselves an out. It's not just for looks or dramatic effect. There are secret walls, passages, breakable cover, holes in the ground. Just start using that button. Look for these and start remembering them. It can totally help change fights. And finally, my last micro concept for these ranks, don't be afraid to hard reset, and even further, do not stagger. If y'all die as a stagger, and essentially that just means 1 by 1, there's a time interval between each death, you're going to respawn 1 by 1. You're going to respawn in those same intervals. Stop. Regroup, push as a team. This is not Call of Duty. You can't solo everybody. You're going to have to group together. You need your teammates. You know, if this takes 10 to 20 seconds to do so and you have the time, use the time. The game does not care if you cap the point in overtime with 0 seconds on the clock, or if you have the full 2 minute, 50 second, or 3 minutes or whatever. Use your time. The goal is to increase your chances of winning team fights. Staggering in 1 by 1 and dying by yourself is the absolute worst thing you can do. Better to hard reset, regroup, use the time, go together, don't stagger. If you're staggering, you're throwing. Use your time. I'll end on this. Much of what got you out of bronze can help you get out of silver, plus a little more. It's not a massive leap, but it is a leap forward, and you'll notice the difference. What silver lobbies tell me, you're interested enough in the game to test your own skills and interested in improving. You're still going to hit a large skill gap, so be ready, be patient. People at this rank still don't communicate often, so be that person to get the conversation going. At minimum, share what you're doing, share your thoughts. This is a good rank to begin caring more about positioning, coordinating ult usage, monitoring enemy ult usage, map usage, destructible environments, general map awareness, and a place where you really need to start honing your hero abilities and aim. You need to start becoming a master of your hero picks. Know your heroes in and out. Learn 1 to 2 from each role to start separating yourself from the pack. You need to be ready once you hit gold. That is it for me, folks. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end here. The next video in this series is going to be Gold 3 to Plat 3, so I've got some work to do. I don't know how long it's going to take me. It will be an interesting use case for the next video. Once that's done, I'll get that video out. That'll be video number 3 in the series on tips to get from Gold 3 to Platinum 3. In the meantime, if you guys want to hang out, connect, play games, whatever, you can find me at Ghost Stories Gaming on all things socials. I'm down to play with anyone, so if you guys need teammates, want teammates, or just want to troll me, whatever. Last shameless plug, again, if you enjoy the content, wish to see any future updates or the future videos in this series, be sure to click subscribe or leave a comment or share. Everything helps. Truly everything helps. It helps me learn if I'm on the right path of making good content, if I'm getting better for you guys. And thank you guys so much for the 700 subs on our way to 1,000. I cannot wait. I'm super pumped. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.